Hi, I'm really glad that you've come to take a look at the studio today because it's the first time that I've been able to hang all of these figurative, big multi-part piece figurative works on the wall at the same time. I moved into the studio in January and then COVID took place, so this is the first time I'm really enjoying it. And all of this work, or a lot of this work, is going to be going to Houston for a show there in November, so I wanted to document it. And I also want to say that my last studio was only 250 square feet, so this way the works create an installation in themselves, and I'm really able to see the way I envisioned the pieces, which is that they're both architectural caryatids, but then each figure also makes up a part of a frieze, an architectural frieze. And in friezes, you normally think of a narrative, and often a battle narrative, but I see these figures as warriors, but not in the sense of violence and actual physical fighting, but using gender as a weapon, and actually the concepts themselves are more weaponized. So if you think about it, most of these pieces are either double portraits, as here, or multiple gendered. They have multiple breasts and the eyes and the breasts are interchangeable. And in this piece, for example, called Labrys Queen, you actually do have a reference to a weapon here, which is the labrys, the double-headed axe. And it also serves, of course, as a pelvis for the figure, as well as an additional set of eyes. So the works are absolutely totemic. They are, in a sense, stacks of symbols, but because they're wall reliefs, they really have an architectural reference. And sometimes that means that they might look like a floor plan for a building in themselves. I also see them as maps and guides. And you can imagine looking at them also from a bird's eye view down to them and seeing the different chambers. And in each chamber there's a symbol, which may be about seeing or vision, speaking, listening, and being in an awareness. So this piece is called Rainbow Dream Machine, and this is basically the first horizontal piece that I made, which I was excited about. So you have the central part, and it definitely still relates to the body, but this piece has multiple centers. You have the center here, center here, center, 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 center. You often think of center as one place, but in this piece you are moving around. What I have to say about this work is that they were made in Hungary, and this series actually began in 2016, but I've been working in Hungary since 2009. And I was really paying attention to the public art and socialist art that was made during the 60s and 70s, both government sanctioned and not government sanctioned. So you might notice that there are some symbols here. Here's the wrench, which is a symbol of labor, and the concept that this is a handmade object. And this form here is an homage to Eva Zeisel, who is a wonderful designer who was of Hungarian origin, and also worked in Hungary in 1983. And this is a reference to her belly button vase. This piece is called Purple Warrior. And the reason I want to point out is some of the influences in the work. Yes, it is totemic and it's stacked, but if you notice these spheres here with lines through them, that is a reference to Vasarely. And Vasarely was born in Pécs, Hungary, where I made this work. And he is considered the grandfather of op art. I go to the Vasarely Museum every time I go to Pécs, and I've been going since 2009. And so I wanted to pay homage to him, but also incorporate it in this eclectic work, a work that is basically a mix of styles combined. I want to talk about some other influences for the work in general. The Bauhaus, believe it or not, has been an influence in my work because members of the Bauhaus were born in Pécs, Hungary, including Marcel Breuer, and Mihaly Nagy was from Hungary, and I saw many Bauhaus exhibitions while I was there over the years. And one of the artists that I really love is Oskar Schlemmer. Oskar Schlemmer he combined the idea of the mechanical and the human body, and was really interested in an abstraction of the human body through sort of geometric or mechanical shapes. His creation of the Triadische ballet is fantastic, and the costumes that were made for that ballet you can see sort of referenced here in their whimsy and in the combination of the machine, the body, and the costume. This is an example of an unglazed piece that is a work in progress that I made this summer during COVID. And it's got multiple parts, and as you can see, you can move the parts around, but this also emerged from a drawing that went through multiple changes. I just want to end by saying that I feel really fortunate to be in this studio in Williamsburg. It's the largest studio I've ever worked in here, and it really enables me to think differently about my work, to be able to see it all together as an installation. I'm excited about the upcoming show in Houston at McLean Gallery, which will open in mid-November. So please check mcleangallery.com for installation shots.